Lesson 5, Unit 1. The Project Adapting Phase. This is the phase where all changes to the project plans and methods will happen. Here the team will identify the best alternatives to improve the project and its chances for success. Here's a very nice quote. It says, "Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change." That is the main purpose of this phase. You need to have the ability to change and modify your plans to reflect the new conditions that are happening as you make progress. And the intelligence that you're bringing to the project is reflected in your ability to adapt to those changes. Let's look at some definitions of the word adapt. It will also help you get a better understanding of the concepts behind this phase. Adapt is about making something suitable for a new use or purpose, to become adjusted to new conditions, to change so that it can be presented in another form. Here are some of the words that have the same meaning: modify, change, adjust, redesign, reorganize, customize, improve, amend, and refine. Whatever we call it, the idea is that you need to be able to adapt to the new conditions based on the information that you receive. The monitoring phase provides significant data, and the analysis will provide you insights on the causes for the variances, and that will define if there is a need for change. So why do projects need to change? The reality is that the moment you plan the project, you have a good idea of what you want to accomplish, but as soon as you start implementing, things start to change fast. A simple example is in this diagram. You want to go from point A to point B, and you have an estimate of the time and money you will need, and you have some idea of the issues and risks you're going to face. But the reality is that once you start your journey, the initial conditions begin to change. You start getting more information, and you find that there are more issues, risks, and assumptions that are starting to change. Based on that information, if you continue with the same plan, there is a significant chance that you will not arrive at your destination as you originally planned. You need to start thinking about how to adapt your plan to face these new challenges and arrive at your final destination. Here's the project life cycle. Here you see the adapt phase. The monitoring phase will provide information on the results of the implementation activities and identify deviations from the original plan. The adapt phase will provide information to the planning phase on the approved changes and modifications to the original plans. In the monitoring phase, you will look at variances from the original plans. You will see the changes from what you plan to do to what actually happened. The next action is to ensure all changes are approved. This is an important step. You need a process of approving all changes and make sure that the resources are available, that the change is relevant to the project objectives, and that they will contribute to its success. Once those changes are approved, then you update the plans. This is a cycle that can happen at different intervals in the life of the project. Depending on the type of project, you might have different cycles within the life cycle of your entire project. As you start doing work in your project, you will go through the actions of checking your progress, adapt your project to changes in the context, and change your plans. In every cycle, you repeat the same actions until the end of the project. Depending on the type of project, you may have 2 or 3 or more cycles. The effort versus time chart. The monitoring and adapting phases are going in parallel, and they will take almost the same time that the implementation phase will take. Notice that the effort of adapting phase is lower than the monitoring phase. This is because the amount of work required to monitor the project, collect data, analyze information, and report is higher than the effort of analyzing the changes and updating the plans. Here's the flowchart of the adapting phase. You will start with the change control process, the analysis of the request, the decision to see if the change has any merits. If it doesn't, then it is rejected, and the stakeholders are informed. If approved, then you proceed to move into the next step of updating the core plans, update the support plans, and update the monitoring and evaluation plans. Then you will need to integrate all the plans, and the final step is to communicate all changes. Let's review these steps once more. All requests for changes go through the change control process. Each change should have a formal request. The review includes the impact on the project constraints. For example, a change in scope will require additional funds. If the change is approved, then the team will update all the project plans. The project manager will review to ensure that all changes are integrated and communicate the changes to the stakeholders, the team's partners, and make sure that all plans are not used anymore. What are the changes you need to make? You need to concentrate on the project management plans and you need to make changes to the core plans. And if needed, you can also make changes to the support plans. Everything in life changes, and shifts usually come at a quicker pace than it's comfortable. As a project manager, you need to be ready for change to happen at any time.